Welcome to Shadow Vale Crimes, where the shadows hide the truth. Viewer discretion advised.
And today, we peel back the veil on a forgotten nightmare from 1922, where an entire family was slaughtered in their home, and the killer didn't run, they stayed. Welcome to the Hinterkaifeck Murders. Our story unfolds in the early 1920s on a small farmstead called Hinterkaifeck, about 70 kilometers north of Munich, Germany. The name Hinterkaifeck roughly translates to behind Kaifeck, a nod to its seclusion behind another farm. It was a place where the world felt far away. No electricity, no neighbors within shouting distance, just endless fields and dense woods. The residents were the Gruber family. Andreas Gruber, 63, a gruff and reclusive farmer known for his temper. His wife, Kazilia, 72, a stern woman who managed the household. Their widowed daughter, Victoria Gabriel, 35, who had returned home after her husband's death in World War I. Victoria's two children, young Kazilia, just 7 years old, full of innocence, and little Joseph, only 2, still in his crib. Rounding out the household was their maid, but we'll get to her soon. Life on the farm was harsh, marked by rumors of dysfunction. Whispers in the nearby village of Grobern suggested incest within the family. Andreas had even been convicted years earlier for relations with Victoria, serving time in prison. Joseph, the toddler, was rumored to be Andreas's son, not Victoria's late husband's. But these were just village gossip, or were they? In the months leading up to the tragedy, things turned eerie. The previous maid, Crescens Rieger, quit abruptly 6 months before, claiming the house was haunted. She heard footsteps in the attic, tools moving on their own, and felt an unseen presence watching her. Andreas dismissed it as nonsense, but even he reported strange occurrences. Newspapers appearing in a house that no one had bought, a set of unfamiliar footprints in the fresh snow leading from the woods to Machine's shed, but none leading back. He searched the attic, but found nothing. Then, the family's dog began barking incessantly at night, as if sensing an intruder. Keys to the house went missing, only to reappear. Andreas confided in neighbors about these oddities, but refused to involve the police, calling it foolishness. Little did he know, these were omens of something far more sinister. The night of March 31st, 1922, was cold and unforgiving. Snow blanketed the ground, muffling any sounds from the outside world. That evening, a new maid arrived. Maria Baumgartner, 44, hired just that day to replace the one who fled. She came with her sister, who escorted her but left before dark. Maria would never leave the farm alive. What happened next is pieced together from autopsy reports and the crime scene. It appears the killer, or killers, lured the family to the barn one by one. First, likely Andreas and his wife Kazilia, drawn out by a noise or perhaps to check on the animals. In the dim light of the barn, they were ambushed with mattock, a heavy pickaxe-like tool used for farming, its blade sharp enough to cleave through bone. Andreas's face was shredded, his cheekbones exposed through ragged flesh. Kazilia suffered 7 brutal blows to the head, her skull cracked open like an eggshell. Next came Victoria, perhaps hearing the commotion. Her head was smashed with star-shaped wounds, the right side of her face pulverized. Young Kazilia, the 7-year-old, was last in the barn, her jaw shattered, her neck and face covered in gaping wounds. But here's the horror. She didn't die immediately. Evidence suggests she lingered for hours, pulling out her own hair in agony, strands found clutched in her tiny hands. With the barn now a slaughterhouse, the killer moved inside. Little Joseph was bludgeoned in his bassinet, his skull crushed while he slept. Finally, Maria Baumgartner, in her bedroom, met the same fate, struck down before she could even unpack. But the nightmare didn't end with the killings. The perpetrator stayed on the farm for days. Neighbors later reported smoke rising from the chimney, as if someone was cooking meals. The cattle were fed. The dog walked. Fresh bread was eaten from the kitchen. Whoever did this lived among the corpses, going about daily chores as if nothing had happened. It's a detail that turns the stomach. A killer so cold, they treated the farm as their own. The bodies weren't discovered until April 4th, for days later. Neighbors grew concerned when young Kazilia missed school and the family skipped church. Unusual for the devout Grubers. A search party, including mechanic Lorenz Schlittenbauer, a man with his own ties to the family, broke into the barn. What they found was pure horror. The 4 adults and child stacked under hay and boards, blood-soaked and mutilated. Inside, Joseph and Maria lay in pools of their own blood. The Munich police arrived, led by Inspector George Reingruber. Autopsies confirmed the mattock as the weapon, found hidden in the attic with bloodstains. Robbery wasn't the motive. Money and valuables were untouched. The family's dog was tied up outside, unharmed but traumatized. Over 100 suspects were interrogated in the coming years, from vagrants to family acquaintances. Schlittenbauer himself was a prime suspect. He had an affair with Victoria and may have fathered Joseph, or disputed paternity. He handled the bodies oddly during discovery, contaminating the scene, but no solid evidence. Other theories swirled. Was it Carl Gabriel, Victoria's dead husband, returned from a war in secret? Rumors said he faked his death. Or a neighbor feud over land. Some pointed to incest. Perhaps Andreas's abuse led to revenge. Even supernatural explanations persisted, tying back to the haunted attic where the killer might have hidden for weeks beforehand. In 1955, a suspect confessed on his deathbed, but it was dismissed as unreliable. The farm was demolished in 1923, a memorial cross erected in its place. To this day, no one has been charged. The case files were last reviewed in the 1980s, but Hinterkaifeck remains one of Europe's most baffling cold cases. The Hinterkaifeck murders remind us that evil can lurk in the quietest places, hidden behind veils of normalcy. Who was the killer? A stranger from the woods? A family secret come to life? Or something even darker? If this forgotten horror chilled you, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We got more unsolved nightmares waiting. What case should we uncover next? Drop it in the comments below. Thanks for watching Shadow Veil Crimes. Stay vigilant. The shadows are watching.